Hi, I'm Joe from School of Rock North Buffalo. When we're not making musicians, we're also fixing gear. So if you have a guitar or bass in need of love, if you need new strings, please bring it in. We'll be more than happy to help you. So not only do we do instruction and performance-based music, we also fix gear. So please bring it down to 9310 Treds Road, East Amherst, or you can give me a call at 716-317-7625. Again, School of Rock North Buffalo. We make musicians and we fix your gear.
On this episode, the premier Scorpions tribute band, Hurricane.
Okay, joining us now from their rock and roll rehearsal space here, we have with us Western New York Music of the Scorpions tribute, Hurricane. How's it going, guys? All right, why don't we just go around the horn real quick and go through each of you, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Me? Let's see, I was raised in New Jersey. Came up here 18 years ago with my band. Met my wife up here. And I ended up with these guys.
Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
Excellent.
Bunch of guys.
Jersey.
All right.
Okay. Kevin Glakita. Known some of these guys my whole life. Playing Hurricane. This is a great band. We're having a lot of fun. I think it's going to be super successful. And we're just really grateful for all the opportunities we have so far and looking forward to an excellent 2025. Can't wait.
I'm Merrick Allen. A lot of people call me Rick. I'm the lead singer for Hurricane. Also played in a lot of other bands for a lot of years, and I'm really happy to be here and just knocking it out of the park with some of my best friends, my new brothers in Hurricane. Rock and roll.
Ray Barkley, drums, been playing since I was 15 years old in bands, and it's just totally exciting playing with these guys. It's an amazing experience,
Lots
man.
of fun.
Lots of energy, great musicians, great people.
I'm Shane Davis. I'm the bass player for Hurricane. And we been doing this for quite a long time. Got about 40-some years into this whole type of music world. And this is a new project that we got going about a year ago. And we're going to make this thing happen. That's all I can say. We're conquering the world. Conquering the world.
World domination.
World domination, yeah, very cool. So you've all played in a lot of different bands across the Western New York area. So who was it that thought it was time to put together the Scorpions tribute? There's really not a lot of those around, right? There's very few, and probably because it's not some easy music to cover, right?
Yeah, what happened with you two that night? This conversation.
Was pointing at me.
You and Shane.
I used to sing, lead in I still do, lead in a Styx tribute band called Grand Illusion, and I used to do a little bit of Scorpions in between sets and during sets to try to change things up. And we did some talking, me and my friend Shane back here, and we said we always wanted to do something on the side that would be a lot of fun, but we wanted to do something that would work and bring the crowds in. And I said, well, Scorpions is something that I know that I can sing halfway decent, and
Real good. Not halfway decent.
He was a little
Real good.
He was a little dubious because he said, well, I'm not sure if there's a market for it out there, but we'll give it a shot and see what's out there. And I said, well, trust me, if we do it, they will come. And
Right.
So we shot, and we got our drummer Meister Ray over here on percussion, and we tried a couple of guitar players, but Kevin was very tied up with his other band, Kiss This from Western New York, and we wanted him, but he was so busy with the scheduling, and we needed a slot for a video that we were working on, and he was available for that weekend. He came and he played with us, and we said, Kevin, do whatever you can. You got to stay in the band.
Oh, yeah, I said, hey, I want to play in the band. If it becomes available, I want to be a member. And they called me like a day later and said, yeah, sure.
Yeah, do it. And he made room in his schedule for it, and the rest was history. Then Jason Jersey Sanchez over here.
Doctor Dirty Sanchez.
we had another great guitar player to begin with, but because of scheduling and because of other prior commitments, David and Nicola, we called him the professor. He was really decent, but he had to do what he had to do that was right for him, which no hard feelings. It was all amicable. But Jason became available for us, and he's just been an absolutely great fit for us. He's just knocking it out of the park. We're just really, really happy.
They just say that they're lying.
Very good. Very good.
And Rob, I like to add too, when we sat down, this is a band that's a theater and concert presentation. And at this point in our career, you certainly can do a fun little bar band anytime you want. We really wanted to take a swing at the hour-and-a-half concert presentation or the theater scenario, which is the 250s, and put that presentation. So that is our target. We're traveling. We've added Ohio. We've added Illinois, as well as New York and Pennsylvania to our schedule. And that's what we're doing. We're taking this to that level of venue and event.
Very, very cool. And you covered a variety of types of music, Shane, also from country to rock. Is this more of a niche for you, would you say, the classic rock?
Yeah, like Rick said, when he presented it to me, I'm like, ooh, what? I didn't know much.
You're like a Scorpions tribute. What are you talking about? These guys are years. They're still selling out shows. They're playing residencies in Vegas. The Scorps have been around for so long, right?
Well, that's the thing, and it's sort of. So I said timeout, and that's what I see. You see the residency in Vegas. You see the song on the movie. You start seeing the culture. You talk to some friends, and they're, oh yeah,
right.
And that's what turned me on. All the things that I've done in my career. I'm a rock guy. I am.
He's a rock guy.
Rock. I like to go up and just beat the crap out of the bass and just have a good time. Everything else has been fun along the way, but this is, the roots is that classic rock style music. And so here we are.
Yeah, definitely. And Kevin, you also yourself, you're very busy, like we were saying earlier, in your other band, Kiss This, trying to fit that into your scheduling time. I know you guys are playing a lot of gigs, but it sounds like you're taking this outfit all over the place. You have some shows.
This is awesome. We just finished up 5 shows in the last 3 weekends with Kiss This and these guys. And both of these bands are booked till November 2025 already. And we're already looking at the calendar for 26. So I'm going to probably have to do this for a while.
Right. Yeah, I was saying, there's not a lot of Scorp tribute bands around that can pull it off good and have the look and the sound. I mean, it's not easy to sing. It's not easy to play. This is some tough material.
And I got the white hair, and Rudolph's got the white hair.
There you go. Right.
So I got that white, and then the Kiss band, obviously, I wear the wig. But so it's worked out really good that my hair went white, at my age. So it's good. It worked out really good.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, you got to be committed to the project, and you got to be committed to presenting it a certain way. Everybody in this band has done that. And I will tell you, as I've been talking to venues out of state that have looked at our videos, they've brought that to my attention, that's what caught their eye is you're looking like it, you're sounding like it,
right.
I like it.
Right, because that's part of the deal. That's part of the illusion, right? You got to have the sound down. There's no doubt. But you got to create that illusion, right? When you're seeing the show, right? They want that illusion, right?
Having the right instruments, the right guitars, the look of the band.
We've gone as far as reviewing their rigs from amps, guitars, and all that stuff from certain tours, and that's what I bought. So I snipped the preamp in the settings and the the wah pedals and those types of things in the settings, the EBS equipment and their settings. I snipped from the tour what they were using, especially on bass, and then I helped the other guys and said, hey, look at some of this other stuff so that you can recreate that sound and look for certain things.
Yeah, you guys are definitely doing that. And Rick, your vocals are sounding amazing on here. How do you feel with the response from this compared to your other project, Grand Illusion? Is there a lot more boom, it seems, behind Hurricane here?
Well, it's kind of it's a lot different animal than Grand Illusion, than the Styx music, but the difference that I find with this band, which I love, it's like apples and oranges in a sense, because with Grand Illusion, we were just kids. I started that band 30 years ago. It's a complete different lineup, and we really didn't know what we were doing at the time, but it just caught on slowly but surely. It was a slow cook project in the very beginning, but with this band, I got 30 years experience with a bunch of guys that have 30 years experience since those days, and we're just doing everything by instinct the right way with stuff that we've all learned over decades. And it's like we're starting off at a point where it would have taken Grand Illusion 10 or 20 years to catch up to, because we were so much younger back then. So I feel a lot more. Plus, I got out from behind the keyboards. I'm fronting the band. I've fronted several bands in my career, but to be able to come out front and be able to just focus on the performance, focus on Klaus, focus on the voice, it's so much more fun and so much more freeing up for me. I have a lot more fun that way. But I still love Grand Illusion. I still love Styx. I still love those guys in the other band. Like, they're my brothers. So I still will continue to perform occasionally with those guys. I still love that. But with Rich Dave, Mike Tantillo, John Daniels, I just love all those guys. Scott Helprich, they're a great group of guys. I will definitely be looking forward to playing with those guys on occasions throughout the year. But being out front for this band with this group, it's something I really, really love to do. It's,
like me taking the makeup off and not having to do this is great. I get to be more myself. I mean, I'm still emulating a character, but there's a lot more of me in this band than, you know.
Exactly.
People know who I am now. It's like, oh, you're in this band too? I didn't know, you know. Some people don't know who I am in a Kiss band, you know. It's,
right, because they never seen you without your makeup, right?
So I get to have a little bit more identity in this band. And,
I tell you, Rob, that's been fun to watch, because myself as well, coming out of a character from another band.
Right,
I had gone through this to where you have to find yourself again and be confident on the stage, because you don't have that character that you hype again.
Right.
And that microphone stand is only this big, so you can't.
There's nowhere to hide, right? You guys have definitely stepped up. I mean, the sound production during your shows is great. The production value itself is tremendous. It sounds really great. You know, folks can watch. You know, we'd be playing some of the video for folks to watch, so they can check out, you know, and see what you guys are putting together here. It just sounds amazing. I was really taken back when I first heard you guys are doing a Scorps tribute. I'm like, wow, this is great. Nobody's doing this right now.
We're 4 shows into the band. 1 show at Jersey. Already booked theaters and shows from here to Ohio, and making great money already and playing in front of lots of people and have great merch and having fun. And we've done more in 4 shows than some bands I've been in for 3-4 years as far as venue status, money status. It's just awesome. You know, it's great.
Well, for me, it feels like I've been playing with these guys for a long time, and it hasn't been a long time, but it just feels like a long time. It's like okay, like we grew up together playing music. It's weird. Yep. That's the way it feels to me.
My brother Jesse.
That's the way it feels.
Yeah, I mean everything gelled really quickly.
Yeah. There's no
it's just all everybody compliments the hell out of each other.
Weird, not weird, but the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's really I think one of the most difficult things, right? The personalities and the people you play with, how do they mesh, right? And how do you mesh like afterwards? Like when you're just hanging out and talking, how do you mesh there? I mean, obviously on stage, you want that performance to be, you know, amazing. But I think a lot of bands always tell me, like, if we can't hang out after the show, it really doesn't work if we can't just talk, right?
We usually go to we usually go to like a Chinese buffet after rehearsal. Talk about the rehearsal. Go sesame noodle.
Sesame noodle.
We got on the red pepper there.
I think Shane said it best when you were asking about what it's like for us now doing this band together, and it really is a matter of us all finding ourselves and doing what comes naturally and being ourselves on stage, discovering who we are as ourselves as pure musicians. It's really, that's what's been really exciting for us. And I think that's where the chemistry is really coming into play. You know?
Yeah, and Rob, you know, we run this, it's a democracy and everybody has input. Certainly everybody has a lead role in their different ways. But just before this, this video, we were talking about business points. I had about 8 different business points, what we need to refine. We went over the last show, what we need to work on, what we need to improve on,
Right.
performance contracts, to travel, all of that stuff, so that we're all in the know. Keeping that communication line open is number one, and when that breaks down is when things get a little goofy. So, we're trying to stay wide open and transparent.
Transparency.
And we're not kids either. So
Right. And I know a lot of the bands always bring up the travel is such a difficult thing nowadays for any band. You know what I mean? It's so expensive to do that at this point, going to different places, working that into the contracts, different things. You might need some rooms overnight or different things, depending on the venue, depending on how far. How has that been working for you with the different venues? Are they being a little bit more receptive nowadays, or is it still kind of like a little bit of a battle to kind of get things done?
it's so the conversations that I have, we pride ourselves on being easy to work with. We just want to have fair deals. We're not, we're all established guys. So you're not going to come out rich, but if it's a good adventure, it didn't cost you any money. You got extra, and you put $100 in your pocket after you paid for all the expenses. There's soda pops and Chinese buffets. Yeah. You're ahead of the game. And that's been our approach with the venues. We take on some risk though, because we are new.
Right.
And, it's not, the Scorpions aren't requested like a Journey, Bon Jovi, Elvis. They come in with an automatic level up here. So we aren't afraid of taking on risk, which also can give you bigger rewards. So that's, ticket splits, stuff like that.
Right, right.
So, there's a lot of discussion, but really in our discussions, it's like the guy on the other side of the phone has been doing it a long time. We got shelves of contracts and stuff we've been doing a long time. So let's just have a frank discussion, a fair discussion, what makes sense in your market that we can make the deal. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
At our age, like I said, everybody being established. We're not 20 years old, 25 years old, throwing our shit in the van, hitting the road and going up. How are we going to pay for gas coming home?
Right.
We got a credit card.
We have homes or houses or
Shane got the credit card.
So there are gigs that are great paydays. With both my bands.
But you know what? I don't do this for money.
But
I do it because I love playing in a band like this.
the money's a bonus with the
Yes,
with the
but I
tribute
don't do it
band.
for money. I would have quit a long time ago.
Like Shane says,
I don't do it for money.
most bands are going to go all the way to Ohio. You're going to break even. Listen, we're going to make money. We're going to have fun. We're going to be on the road with great friends. We're going to make great memories. We're still going to make some money. Yeah. But it's not the concern. We're not going to drive to Ohio for $500, $500 deal. The contracts are much bigger than that, and it's just the fun of getting there in the hotels and having fun and making the memories.
I'm just looking forward to traveling.
Yeah. So when you say, we wouldn't do it if it was $100, but it's
Right.
But we don't rely on it for income. So if we get away for 4 days, we have a lot of fun, and we come home, and it doesn't cost.
Right. Kevin, what would you say is still this tribute band thing is still such a draw for audiences if it's done correctly? I mean, we've all seen so many different bands just try to do it a little bit, and they really don't pull it off very well. Some bands step up and they add that extra elements to the show. Whether it's production, whether it's costuming, whatever it is. When they add those extra elements, I think the audience really realizes that.
I see if you follow tribute bands and you look at 2 or 3 of the same type of tribute bands, I think you'll see the ones that do a little bit better job will play the better venues. They're not just playing the typical bars in the area that all the other regular bands have played. And the ones that do a little bit better job seem to get a little bit better venue and a little bit better. Obviously the better money with the better venue comes along, but. I still have regular classic hard rock bands that will go out and play for $100, a couple $100, and over for my buddies. They do a 3-piece band have fun. So, but the tribute bands seem to be a little bit more lucrative, and it seems to be a little bit more fun, bigger audiences, better places. You play better places.
I think if you're going to do a tribute to a band, you got to really love the material, and it's really got to mean something to you. And if it means that much to you that you're going to spend all that time and money and energy on gear and emulate them as much as you can, you got to get into the costuming. You got to get into character. Like Shane alluded to a little earlier, it's like theater. It's not just a band. You're putting on a play. It's rock and roll theater. Exactly.
It's not
you become those people. You become those characters. I become Klaus. They become Schenker. They become Matthias Jobs. They become all these guys. That's what we try to do. We don't
know who the bass player is, so I just mean me.
Not important.
But we try to do what the best we can at becoming those people. And that's why we've researched what they wear, we've researched their stage antics, we've researched what they do, and we try to put that on as best as we can. And sometimes we put our own spin on it, but we try to be those people, not copy them, carbon copies, but to try to get that sense of who they were and you have to really care about it that much. Not just because we want to do a better job, that's part of it, but because it's more fun for us. It's like going up there and playing pretend. You're like acting while you're playing the music. It's like role play. It's like cosplay, man. That's what it is.
It's a lot more than playing the material correctly. You have to give the audience that feeling of the energy that band put out.
Exactly.
It's like being.
And Scorpions were always known for high energy performance, not just standing around. They ran around the stage, jumping off drum risers. You have to give the audience that excitement, that feeling.
Would you say that's what's led to the Scorpions' longevity, the excitement of their music? Because they've been around, what is like 60 plus years, right?
Yes.
This is 60 years.
60 years this year.
For me, it's like seeing the real band, but not the real band. You know what I mean? In other words, we're second to the real band. That's what I look forward to make it feel that way and sound that way and look that way.
People walk away, you say, well, that was a pretty good representation of the band, you know, and it's good to keep the music alive and support it.
That's why it's called a tribute.
You know,
Rob, for people to know out there, we've added video. We continue to work on that, so there's video syncing. You'll get pieces of video and interviews that go along with the songs that add to the stage presentation. We took a couple of Marshall cabinets and cut out the speakers, and I put monitors in there. So right in the Marshall stacks, you actually have the video going on there as well as your big video. So it's all part of the presentation, and we continue to improve on that and add to that as we add more material, which is really exciting for us as well as the audience presentation.
Yeah, I think that's such a big part of it. Like you guys were saying, rock theater. The presentation is such a big thing nowadays with that. If you want to reach that next level, if you want to become a premier tribute band, that's the way to do it. Definitely. What gigs you guys got coming up? You got dates that you guys can talk about now? Do you have shows?
Yeah. So we're in Rochester at Bunsey's on March 30th. Okay. We are going to be announcing a couple of big shows. We're going to slide another stage show May 9th, but we haven't announced yet. We're sort of announcing it. We're going to slide one in because we have some opportunity. We just nailed down a tour going out to Illinois, back through Ohio as well later in the year. But those first couple, the Bunseys in Rochester, we got a Syracuse show in Sharky's May 30th. We got a stage in New York on May 9th.
We've got several other large events that we've nailed down here in Western New York that we can't quite tell you the details about yet, but stay tuned. You'll be getting filled in soon.
3 big blowouts this summer are going to be great.
Nice. So, Rick, if folks want to check out what's going on, what's your socials? Where should they look for you?
Definitely look on Facebook for Music of Scorpions and also on hurricanerocks.com on our website. You can keep up with all of our events, all of our tour dates. There's a splash page on the homepage with our next event, whatever it is. We got a little short video showing the time and date.
All the single ladies can just friend request Rick.
There you go.
All my personal contact information is there.
All right. Very, very cool. Like Rick was saying, folks, you can check them out on their social media. Check out Hurricane Music of the Scorpions. a phenomenal tribute band. You guys will not be disappointed. These guys put on a great show. Very, very cool. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
See you next time.